Martin Martini, actor, model, celebrity. Tonight we will examine his life, his rise to the top, and his fall from greatness. This is Biography, the life of Martin Martini.
I knew one thing for certain, that Martin Martini is a big fucking star.
He wouldn't listen to his friends, his family, his producers. He was just sliding right down that hill into Hollywood hell.
Why don't you fuckers leave me alone?
Martin was born in the fall of 1978 and adopted by the Martini family of Alexandria, Virginia.
The Martinis are really great people. At no point did they ever make me feel different from their own children. Until one day, they said, "Son, you're adopted." Anyway, I didn't take that well, and I was shocked. But I have to say, it did make sense.
Bitten by the acting bug at an early age, Martin dropped out of high school to pursue a career as a movie star.
I never had any professional training. I don't believe in professional training. With acting, it's you either have it or you don't.
But the rise to the top was not always smooth.
There ain't room in this town for the...
Martin's first role was in the Lifetime television movie Homeless in Seattle.
For Homeless in Seattle, I was actually homeless, and I lived in Seattle as a homeless person for 9 months.
And then came his big break.
Run Forrest Run was the big break for my career.
I met Martin at the Run Forrest Run premiere, and what? Sorry, man, sorry. We just hit it off. It was great times back then. He was just rolling in it. He'd pay for like everything: booze, women, food, coke, weed. Dude, those were the days. Those were the days.
It was during that point in my career that everything seemed to be working fine. To make things even better, that was the time when I was like dating Soleil Moonfry.
Soleil and I go back pretty far, man. We met like a month or two before I introduced her to Martin, and yeah, they hit it off really well.
At the high point of his career, Martin starred in Speed, Varsity Blues, and Too Fast, Too Furious. But then, things took a turn for the worse for Martin Martini.
He's brushing off everybody, and you know, he was just abusing his position. It wasn't cool, man. He was just a jerk. I needed, you know, another star to kind of, you know, hang out with, somebody else who was really cool at the parties. So I noticed that Dustin Diamond was getting a lot of press with that Screech thing he was doing. So I started hanging out with him, and you know, we were having a good time, and I was like, dude, you know, I should have introduced you to this chick. And I introduced him to Soleil, and you know, next thing I knew, Martin, he's single again. And that was kind of rough on him, and I felt kind of bad, but not too bad. Not really.
But Martin's career nosedived after starring in the enormous flop Coffee Shop of Horrors.
Dude, what was he thinking? That was probably worse than anything I've even been in.
After a few smaller roles, Martin took some time off from acting to do a little soul searching.
I wanted to find the real me. I wanted to find my soul, which is when it hit me like a bullet. I figured out what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to feed America.
Yes, miss. Would you like a 6-inch or a foot-long?
Martin Martini never worked as an actor again. Martin was named Subway Employee of the Month an astounding 17 times in a row before he withdrew his name from consideration.
You know, he just started taking himself and too seriously. Like, he started to really like believe all the crap people were saying, you know, like just because you're on the cover of 10, 12, 15 magazines doesn't mean you're like that big, man, you know. The women, oh man, I remember we get in a limo, and we would just go around town, and you know, he'd just flash a wad of bills. They weren't even hookers. They'd get in the car. It was awesome. Everybody knew who he was. Sometimes someone would know who I was, which was even cooler. but for the most part, they always knew Martin, and he'd just snap his fingers. There'd be 3, 4, 5 women in the car. It was awesome. And, you know, on the good nights, I'd actually talk to one of them, and, you know, we'd hit it off too. But most of the time, Martin was just taking all the women for himself.
Or I am mad, or else this is a dream. Let fancy still my sense and live sleep. If it be thus a dream, still let me sleep.
But back then, she was a big star too. She had that whole show. What was it called? That's right, Funky Brewster, and with the dog and everything. Yeah, so they hit it off, and they started dating, and she never really knew about all the hookers. I don't think. I'm not really sure.
Thou hast an open hand.
Now, sir, have I met you again?
That's one for you.
I just didn't get it. He's just a bit of a jerk for a while. But, you know, I guess we all get ours in the end, don't we?